But it did spark a lot of controversy. Like a lot of people were reacting to it. Are you familiar with who RG3 is?
I do not know who that is at all.
So RG3 he was my former quarterback when we were the Washington Redskins. He was a rookie of the year. I think he was a second pick overall, and his career was ended like fairly early because of injuries, and then he was relegated to being backup for most of his career. But he now does sports commentary. He worked on ESPN for a little bit, and now he kind of does his own show where he has like him and his wife she'll sit in the back, and while he just talks sports or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so he reacted to this. So he had a tweet where he essentially said Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and then he goes on his show and kind of outlines why he believes that. And it got a lot of people upset, especially the boys at the pivot. So that's Ryan Clark, Channing, and Fred Taylor. Apparently, these gentlemen have become the quintessential black men who will defend black women anytime they're disrespected publicly on any platform. They did it with Andrew Schultz, but then they also had him come on the show, and I think they lost a little points. So I feel like this was a little odd because they do these little random episodes like this where they'll talk about something in the culture, and I feel like this was one of those ones where they tried to garner that favor back after losing it with the Schultz interview. And so I think I gave you a clip with Ryan Clark where he was discussing. So play that clip a little bit for us.
Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what black women deal with.
See that? Okay.
Black
it's shade
who have chose to date or marry outside of their race.
All right, we can finish it up.
They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over black women by denigrating black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well.
All right, so I just want to say, because there's another reaction to RG3 that we're going to play in just a moment, but I have to say, you can tell he really don't like RG3. That didn't stutter once.
No, he was like, that man does not have these conversations in his house because he married the milk and he loves the milk and that's all he can talk about. And every time I was in a room with the man, that's all he can say. And I think the part where he was like, I think all he talks about is his wife's skin color and I think she's more than that, that was shade.
Yeah, I mean, that was shade saying that you only value her because of that complexion.
Yes, and I feel like a lot.
And he said, I see the humanity in your wife where you don't. I'm telling you, don't ever tell me that you see my wife's humanity.
Now she's over here wondering whether she picked the wrong black man. She's like, wow, I could have had one that respects my agency as well. Like,
I'm not just a tall glass of milk to him.
Oh my goodness. Like I could have had love and respect.
So I do want to say this before we, because I was having some conversations about this, and they were saying, and I seen like some other football players and a lot of people try to say that he was talking about RG3's wife in a negative sense. Did you get that at all?
No, not at all.
Okay, before we get into play RG3's clip now, in regards to his response to that. That should be one of the first ones I sent you.
RG3, and I just wanted to, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and
I already hate him. He started the video with yo. I can tell you date white women.
This your boy.
This your boy RG3. Like, okay, continue.
wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark
Children are
sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, you crossed the line, man.
This is so corny. Like, I don't even think he believes himself in the bullshit that he's saying right now.
In sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. You attacked me.
Can I stop this? I can tell he trying to be a real nigga, but you don't know how to do that.
It's nowhere near your core at all.
Nope. You just sound lame.
And so that was the main thing I wanted to ask you after we, listened to his reaction. Like, I don't feel like he attacked his wife in any capacity.
Not at all.
I think
he attacked RG3.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing that he went out. And when he was talking about, when he brought up his wife, he was only merely talking about that is who you as an individual prop up. Mm-hmm. And for what reason? It's not like you're saying she's smart, she's super athletic, she's funny. No, you're propping her up because she's white. Yeah. And they went through it sounded like all this time where he's talked about putting milk and all this other stuff when he had pictures of his wife. And I was also having this conversation with somebody that was saying that he was out of line for saying he's not aware of the experience of black women because he has a mom and an aunt and all this stuff. And I sat back and thought about it for real, and I was like, that's not enough. That's not really an experience with black women. If it's your mom, sister, cousin, family, you don't really encapsulate a lot of that. You don't really absorb a lot of that because those experiences are going to be similar, probably similar to yours, or you're going to have like a bird's eye view of it to where it's not really culture you're seeing. You're not really seeing somebody who you have to experience from their words per se. You're just like, okay, well, I know you didn't do well in school, so I know you don't do focus on this. I know, so that's what you can do with family. You can't do that with a stranger.
You're seeing them personally. You're not seeing them like from the macro view of like you're a black woman, an African American woman. You're like, you're my mom, you're my aunt, you're my sister.
And I have kind of an example of this. Like one of my good friends, his wife is white, and I remember one time we were having a discussion of who kind of gets it the worst from our community if they date outside the race. And my argument to him was like, black women get it worse because when black women date outside the race,
wenches and a bunch of stuff.
Well, not even just that, they get it from other black women, and they get it from black men. When a black man does it, most likely he's just going to get it from black women. Yeah, and the only time you'll get it from black men is if you're being overbearing. You're doing too much with it,
like RG3 was. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like even then, like the people that I know who've dated out their race and stuff, it's never been this obsession like it was what it seemed like for RG3. And it just makes sense that's like when you speak about this and you're heavily critical of a black woman, that's going to come into people's mind. They're going to see that you value your wife for her being white, and I'm going to assess that your comment comes from a place of not valuing Angel Reese because she's black. And it may not even be that cut and dry with it, but more than likely lived experiences and things of that nature, I'm probably right.
RG3 is the perfect example of like the type of black men that we be talking about when black women are like, we don't care that y'all be dating white women, just shut the fuck up about us. Like, you love your white woman, do what you want to do, just leave us out of it. Like, I hate that.